And now it's time to de-energize this week's biggest bogon emitter. And this week it goes to Joe Biden, who completely predictably has joined with the left in claiming that Section 230, which is nothing more than common law conduit protections applied online, is the worst thing since the Holocaust or something. Here's what he said on CNN, quote, "I just think that social media has to be more socially conscious of what is important in terms of our democracy, and part of that is a little truth in lending here. And everything is not about whether they can make a buck. It requires the journalistic responsibility you, as in CNN, have. You can't do what they do on Facebook. You can't do what they do and just say anything at all and not acknowledge that when you know something is fundamentally not true. And I just think it's a little out of hand. And I, for one, think that we should be considering taking away the exemption that they cannot be sued for knowingly engaged in promoting something that's not true." Well, Biden apparently enjoys that exception because nothing's happened to him, even though what he says is in no way true. First of all, Biden wouldn't know journalistic responsibility if it bit his nipples off. Second is this idea that they're not moderating political ads. Of course they're not! It's a blatant violation of FEC rules to do so! And even if Facebook did decide to moderate political ads for truthfulness, Biden's ilk would just switch to another tine on Morton's fork and whine about Facebook appointing itself as arbiter of truth. That's not speculation. We've seen it before back in March when Elizabeth Warren said about Facebook, quote, "I want a social media marketplace that isn't dominated by a single censor." That was when they took down some of her posts for TOS violations. Then, less than 5 months later, when they allowed Trump campaign ads he made in response to impeachment calls, that they were allowing false information to be posted. So, yes, she made both complaints in the same calendar year. Next, Facebook isn't a journalistic outlet. It's a social media site where people can have their say. Facebook and CNN aren't even remotely similar. On top of that, we've covered case after case after case on this podcast of journalists spreading misinformation and even outright lying. Many of those were on CNN, including 3 in last year's Idiot of the Year coverage, and that's after getting biggest bogon emitter 5 times, as well as an idiot extraordinaire, which were far from the only times we ragged on their bad or even dishonest reporting. So where's his indignation about that? Biden's real complaint seems to be with the First Amendment, and like Warren and the rest, he wants Facebook to censor speech they don't like while allowing the speech they do. If saying false and misleading things should be against the law, then his very statement would be illegal. Biden's outright misinformation is protected by the very First Amendment he hates so much. So that's why only Joe Biden can be this week's biggest bogon emitter.